Hello, I'm Chylli from Channel Chylli, also known as Try, and we are back with more depersonalization. And let's just get right back into it here. So I did actually find a guide, and I will have to go back and do some things that I missed later, but for now, I think we are good to continue on and get whatever ending we get. Hopefully the true final ending is the one we get. If not, we can always reload and try to do it the right way. Oh yeah, I looked. There's apparently 10 different endings for this module. So if you need a name to address, you can go with Murrin Jin or Ghost Hand. Maybe you've already heard of me. Yeah, I've heard of you. This place isn't covered by the Omnivision system, so we can relax and chat about whatever is on your mind. What's your point? Give me a moment here. There we go, that's better. What's your point? To put it plainly, I'm working for the mayor. Things in Cursenday are more twisted than you can imagine. If things had gone smoother, Lucifero would still be alive. Unfortunately, that's never the case, and that's why I've been busy tying up loose ends. Who killed Lucifero? Me. Warren Jin's candid attitude catches you off guard. Despite the casual tone of his words, his crimson eyes, veiled by bandages, remain fixed on you, devoid of emotion. The intensity of his gaze sends a shiver down your spine. Why? Well, due to some accident, she found something not meant for her. We had to take her out to stop things from getting more out of control. We? Lux is your partner in crime, right? Now that's interesting. Seems like you've uncovered more than I thought you would. Now that I'm aware of everything, are you planning to silence me as you silenced Lucifero? No need for that, at least not right now. Otherwise you'd be dead already. Like I said, I know what you're looking into, and I'm aware of your partner, a hacker named Simon. I'm just here to remind you that what you think you know might not be the whole truth. Leaving these words when Jen pauses briefly, you ponder your next move as the conversation. Asking questions about Patrick, perhaps? However, just at that moment... Well, looks like our little chat's over. That Patrick guy always brings me headaches. Hey, let's keep your distance if you don't want to get killed. The asphalt monster resurfaces in the sewer and Margit begins to undergo a transformation. The crimson glow in his eyes intensifies while his ragged nails ooze blood. Clutching the brim of his hat, he lets out a growl, primal and feral. In an instant, you feel an aura of menace radiating from him. Staying here any longer could make you prey to his unleashed instincts. I'm not sure what he's up to. I should just get out of here. Swiftly, you dart away and leave the sewage. If I venture into the sewers today, I might bump into that creature again. I should come back another time. Here we are back at the incineration plant. So we're going through here again, and we get up at the hospital for free. Finally, a moment to relax. It's been a crazy day at the hospital and I feel like I'm falling apart. The fresh air outside is so refreshing. These have gotten odd lately. I keep hearing strange noises from the window. No, it doesn't seem like I can do anything there right now. You hear a Ferris reprimand at the entrance to the alley. Where's the cash you've collected? I mean, no disrespect, bro, but we ran into a tough guy last time. He cleaned us out, man, and beat us up really bad. One of our guys even ended up in the hospital. That's why we couldn't get that debt sorted. It just wasn't a hit to us. What's here, Rep 2, bro? Enough of the excuses. Money's tight lately. I need $5 grand now. Hand me the money and I'll chat with the boss about getting you a solid job. If you can't swing it, don't ever show up here. Your thing, bro. I'll handle the cash side of things, but we need your backing to deal with that guy. I mean, who knows if we'll bump into him again. I see. You find them and I'll show them who's in charge around here. You find that these gangsters are planning to take revenge on you. You decide to take the initiative. Well, well, look who's here. Some new faces suited up in black. Feeling tough, are we? They're just itching for more, huh? Bro, this is the guy. You've got some nerve showing up here, so who's pulling your strings? No need to cozy up. You're just causing trouble in my territory, so it's only fair I collect a fee for authorization. Let's say $5 grand should cover it. You've been making a mess in my area, and now you're sealing my lines. I'll make sure you learn the lesson the hard way. You teach them another lesson and get a sum of money from the leader. Eventually they slink away in disgrace. Hope I'll meet them again. You've gained some combat experience from the street fight. Doesn't seem like there's anything else I can do there right now. We're hitting the road tomorrow, and I'm surprised you chose this place as our final stop. Isn't this the type of place you usually more my thing? It's because of close-minded folks like you that many suffered in the 15th and 17th centuries. I've always believed that the god exists, but I see her as an extraterrestrial from a more advanced civilization. That doesn't surprise me. Every church on Earth serves as a conduit to connect with her. Maybe one day she'll heed our prayers and descend in a church. That's why I figure studying the magnificent magnetic energy of churches is crucial. Let's wrap this up quick. I just want to crash at the hotel. Got hit with a hefty fine yesterday. All I want now is some rest. Don't rush it. An old friend of mine mentioned he'd send an email. It might hold some valuable clues for our quest. Let's check it out. Alright, but we're hitting the road tomorrow anyway. Cursenday, what a divine name. Yet we found nothing of significance here. Upon stepping into the bell tower, you catch echoes of White's frustrated voice from above. Damn it. Why won't this screw work? Get in there. A resounding bang echoes in the bell tower. Phew, this should work. Now next. Heck, damn it. As White curses and shouts, the cell phone hanging from his neck tumbles down the stairs. Damn. I'm running out of time. Where the hell is the guy from the church yet? And it's a cell phone on the floor, the very one White usually carries. Upon picking it up, you realize that it's much heavier than a regular one, indicating modifications within its structure. Time's running out. Quick, give me a hand. You return the cell phone you found to White and follow his command to activate the bell tower. Following White's instructions, you exert force on the hefty wrench. Soon, assorted gears in the bell tower come into motion. Quick, it's about to happen in a minute. I'm already using all my strength, and what's happening in a minute? The stars are shifting positions, only 30 seconds left. All satellites are in their designated spots. My sweet girl, I'm so close to making it happen. The bell resounds, its chime echoing throughout the town of Cursenday. As you study the mechanism and its intricate inner workings, a profound sense of wonder washes over you, as though you're beholding a cryptic masterpiece. While other bell towers may showcase the elegance of interlocking gears, this structure offers something far greater, a glimpse into eternity. It feels as though you're standing exposed to the cosmic void, enveloped in a swirling sea of stars. The vastness overwhelms you, a humbling reminder of your own insignificance, yet, despite the weight of it all, a deep yearning takes hold. You long to gaze upon the sight for an eternity. A rare smile graces White's face. Finally, it's happening. As long as it's left undisturbed, this clock will keep ticking for decades, centuries even. Precision down to the millisecond. Just like the stars, like the rise and fall of the sun. However, even this seems pointless. Can't you see? So what if my clocks never miss a beat? Nothing. They're no different from those watches that lose a few seconds every day. A quick adjustment and they're back on track. It's all but a lie. No one truly grasps the essence of time. Abruptly, White exhales a sigh tinged with despair. We're just staring at a cold piece of machinery. But anyway, this work is bringing me closer to my dream. It's almost within my grasp. By the way, I don't like owing anyone. You've helped me out and I'll make sure to repay you. White receives a pocket watch from his jacket and extends it to you. Here, take this. It's one of the finest watches from my store. Good, I'm heading back to my experiment. You gazed at the amazing contraption in front of you, realizing that White did not exaggerate his craftsmanship. Perhaps this bell tower can't really run for a century without missing a beat. I can't help but feel like we've already missed a lot of things here. Then I think we can take the wine barrel to get to the winery again. Oh, never mind, it's been barred closed. We are going to save again now. Alright, so coming here was a waste of time. That's one thing we can cross off our list anyway. Wait for our damn game to load. You step into the building, the office is unusually quiet, a stark contrast to the usual hustle and bustle. Intrigued, you approach the doorway where you vaguely hear an argument inside. I'm not buying what you're pitching, Saul. I don't get it. I've been straight with you the whole time. Oh, really? So you're clueless about what my cousin's been up to? Look, I stick to paperwork. I don't poke around and I don't know a thing. It's funny, you know, I have a hunch you're holding back a ton. Were you cozying up to the cartel? Then you turned on us? Listen up, I'm just a lawyer. I don't mess with your affairs. Whatever it is, cut me out, okay? I'm here to assist you, and that's that. Nothing more, nothing less. Assist me? Sounds more like you're trying to save your own hide. Think Ben whipped out our crew? Think again. Or sorry, wiped out. We'll get our revenge, starting with you. The unmistakable sound of bullets being loaded echoes through the space. Oh no, you hear the sound of bullets being loaded coming from inside. You decide to protect the lawyer. You kick the door open. Startled, 3 men dressed in black turn to you and launch an attack. And these guys should be really easily killed. You take down the thugs and the lawyer crawls out from under the table. Thank you for saving my life, friend. Unfortunately, I can't repay the favor. I need to find some cover right now. The lawyer struggles to his feet and begins gathering the scattered documents. Intrigued, you ask him a question. How did you get tangled up with those thugs? With a sigh, he responds as he continues packing his belongings. Well, here's the deal. Once upon a time, I was just a small-time lawyer. I took on small cases, helping people with their legal issues. Then this chemistry teacher comes knocking. He claims he had some cash from his new career and needed legal backup to cover his tracks. God damn it, it's Breaking Bad. I knew it was. We needed a lawyer to help him. I was just trying to make some quick money. I didn't intend to dive into the deep end. However, his business thrived and he got tied up with the local drug lords, the Vipers. They needed someone to clean up their mess, so in the end I became their go-to lawyer. A wry smile crosses his face as he speaks. Yeah, I raked in some serious cash for a while, and I even got famous for a while. But everything fell into pieces when the chemistry teacher got killed in his garage. That's when I knew I had to cut ties. So I took all the crucial documents with me and jumped to another gang. You mean Ben's gang? Yeah, they weren't saints, but they played fair. Mountain's solid call and the Vipers got wiped out soon. So there I was, being a small-time lawyer again. But I didn't realize a few of those Vipers slipped through the cracks. Once all the documents are in order, he lifts his box, preparing to leave. Before stepping out, he hands you a business card. Here's my personal contact info. Once I'm out of the woods, I'll be back in business. Hit me up for any legal help when the time comes. Then in a hurry, he leaves the building. Oh, what's this all about? You notice a series of massive footprints in the road, each one the size of both their feet combined. The distinct toe imprints hint at the presence of a large creature. As you study the tracks, a musty, fungal scent assaults your nostrils, thick and lingering. What's that smell? The buzzing in your ears grows louder, distorting your senses while your vision fades to black. Tremors shake your body and your breath comes in short, panicked gasps. Struggling to stay conscious, you focus on your labored breathing and erratic heartbeat, the darkness closing in around you. To any onlookers, you'd resemble a junkie in the midst of an overdose. Slowly, the restlessness begins to ease. Your frantic mind starts to regain some semblance of control. What just happened? Suddenly, Harlan appears in front of you, appearing vigilant. At this moment, you notice a large brown bear on the bridge nearby looking in your direction. Fast startled by Harlan's presence, the bear soon disappears. Looks like those newspaper stories were true. The smell from this brown bear is causing people to drift into hallucinations. You good now? If you hadn't shown up, I'd been killed. And if you hadn't rolled in, I'd have sorted already. Just head back and chill. Harlan grumbles in frustration, directing his gaze to the spot where the bear had vanished. These tracks show it's moving southeast. Gotta fix up my traps. This beast's wilier than I thought. Or sorry, reckoned. Alright, where to next, then? The police station, I assume, is a pretty good place to go now? I did not mean to press that again. Okay, going to the police station was also a waste of time. But I presume the winery is also a waste of time, so we don't really have a reason to go there either. Welcome to Paradier Hotel. We're excited to celebrate our reopening. All guests can enjoy a 20% discount on accommodation. We apologize for any disruptions to your stay. For all guests affected, we've prepared some gifts as a token of our apology. Thank you for your understanding. We wish you a pleasant stay at Paradiso Hotel. I'm pleased to assist you. Feel free to ask if you need parking services. Please don't approach any closer. The walls are fenced off now, and we've been adding high voltage wires for safety. We're gonna try stealing from this guy. You spot the waiter engrossed in a hushed conversation on the phone in a corner, unaware of your presence. I've checked all the rooms, boss. The cameras didn't catch anything, so I checked the cameras and found that someone messed with the network access. All the recorded content is gone. A middle-aged man's voice can be heard from the phone. How could this happen? Blasted, blast it all. But I'll keep digging into this no matter what. Get some new cameras set up in those rooms and send me whatever they record. Got it, boss. With that, he ends the call and begins to contemplate. What were you up to? I need an explanation. Why is it you again, and how did you sneak up on me like that? Because you were deep in conversation? Just as he's about to speak, a sudden realization seems to dawn on him. Now I get it, you're another detective working on the missing persons case, aren't you? After hearing his theory for your presence, you decide to go along with it. Exactly, I'm hired to investigate this case as well. And I'm on a mission to uncover the truth behind these mysteries. Even though we have different clients, we both want to crack the case. Given the situations, maybe we could use each other's help. How about we team up and crack this case together? With those words, he relaxes his guard and starts sharing the clues he has gathered so far as a gesture of sincerity. You probably heard those rumors, right? About the haunting monster snatching people at night? These incidents were mainly in the southern town. As a result, the police didn't pay much heed to them. They closed the cases, attributing them to human trafficking orchestrated by local gangs. But now, people are vanishing in Pomegranate Alley. My client is a big shot who lives there. He's worried about his family's safety and hired me to look into it. This hotel attracts a lot of strangers and visitors, and that makes it a perfect spot to gather clues. That's why I went undercover as a waiter and discreetly installed cameras in all the rooms. So he claims to be a detective, but does setting up cameras really help solve the case? And his boss telling him to install cameras seems suspicious. Could he be involved in some shady business? Nevertheless, you suppress your doubts and play along. So, what is your plan now? Well, I'm thinking of relocating the cameras. That way I'm sure to catch the culprit. But you might end up behind bars even before that. Just as you're about to warn him, a group of waiters pass by engaged in conversation. Finally, the police have lifted the cordon. I thought we were out of jobs for sure back then. One of them glances in your direction. Hey, it's you. The guy who knocked me out and stole my clothes the other day. Take them to the police station. Take them? Does that include me as well? You'll help me, right? I mean, I guess you don't really have a choice anyway. You're caught in a scuffle but manage to prevent them from beating you. Then you betray your peer detective promptly, providing evidence of his misdeeds. After that, the waiters take him to the police station. Let's hope he'll come to realize that he's been used by his boss. Following this unexpected accident, your luck seems to be turning out for the better. We now have 24/7 security guards in place. This will prevent any potential incidents and ensure our guest safety. Well, I think that was everything we could do here right now. We'll go to the police station interrogation room. Okay, never mind, it is empty there. Give those hands up for you to show you can keep the energy up. You notice a girl meticulously sealing a letter and then reaching on her tiptoes to slip it into the phone booth. Why? We should head back. You've got a mountain of homework waiting for you after dinner. No worries, Miss Lacey rang and canceled all the homework. What's happening? Teachers these days aren't just cutting it like they used to. Will you share a funny story with me after dinner, Grandma? Of course. But I still don't get why we had to take this detour. The girl remains silent and leaves with her grandmother. You retrieve the envelope from the telephone. Inside you discover a note and a piece of candy. Thank you, my dearest Santa Claus. Below the message is a drawing of an old woman and a girl. When you walk into the store this time, Sylvia is nowhere to be found. Instead, you notice a noblewoman whom you met earlier, leisurely packing her belongings. Are you here for a haircut, madam? No, I'm here to help Sylvia organize her shop, and not just that, I'm here to warn you. Stop pestering Sylvia. But why? I just want to learn her skills. Let's drop the act. You're not an ordinary person, I can see that. My housekeeping company is struggling and I'm aware of it, but that doesn't mean I'll allow others to do as they please with us. I don't know who else Sylvia might have crossed, but she's already paid the price with her arm. Isn't that good enough? Honestly, I never expected to be the one under suspicion one day. Curious about Sylvia and the woman's true identity, you decide to follow her lead and play along. Alright, I'll stop pestering Sylvia, but before I do, I need an answer. What exactly do you people do? The noblewoman ponders for a moment before explaining. Let's just say we're a housekeeping company. Our work involves getting rid of trash in a broad sense, whether it's people or anomalies, we're the experts. As long as the target fits our criteria, we handle it. Sound like some kind of assassination guild or mercenary band. As for Sylvia, she's my most cherished maid. I know you're eyeing the assets of that mansion. But let me be clear, she didn't take anything. In fact, she lost her arm trying to protect our client. I see, that explains it. Now you know the truth. If you need to report back to your employer, I'm sure this will suffice. With those words, she retrieves an ancient scroll from her purse and hands it to you before leading with a resolve. A complex mix of emotions intertwines within you as if some unexpected turn of events deals with like a humiliation and a windfall. Perhaps you will address this misunderstanding when an opportunity presents itself. Maybe I should come back once Wei finishes his business. Alright, let's go. Let's go back here now. Oh! Nearby you saw Harlan injured, confronting the brown bear that appeared earlier. Harlan, are you okay? Harlan? Harlan exhibits an eerie expression, a haunting mix of sorrow and fury, as if engaged in a silent dialogue. Leia, is that you? Harlan, who are you talking to? Ignoring your presence, Harlan fixates on the brown bear. It feels as if he's seeing someone he knows. Leia, is that really you? From Harlan's perspective, it's me, of course. What's up with our top assassin of the gang? Can't even handle your gun anymore? Or maybe you don't want to see me at all. That ain't it, I just didn't expect... Didn't expect to see your dead wife, did you? Harlan, you've aged. Must be tough carrying that guilt all these years. Leia, I'm sorry. Do you have any idea how it feels to die from typhoid? The pain, it's excruciating, it stays even in heaven. Where were you when I was suffering, threatening some poor soul with your gun? Or making dirty money off the poor? Did you know that? Joe didn't weigh as much as your coat when he died in my arms. Please, stop. No, I won't stop. I want you to carry this guilt forever. I want you to suffer like Joe and I did. The brown bear draws near to you and Harlan, but Harlan still seems lost in his hallucination. The next moment, the bear pounces on Harlan. You push Harlan out of harm's way at the moment he appears to snap out of his hallucination. It's you. Let's handle this bear for now. following a strenuous struggle, you emerge victorious over the bear. Harlan's expression becomes complex as he gazes at the bear before him. Leia, every darn day I'm missing you and Joe like crazy. I promised Joe I'd show him how to shoot that winter, and I swore to you that we'd have a new place by summer. I ain't gonna make excuses. If there was another shot, I swear I'd take care of you two, but there ain't, I know that. When I kick the bucket, I'll make things right after seeing you both. I ain't sure if I deserve heaven. I hope you both find some peace. Leia, I love you. I'm so sorry for all the suffering I caused you and Joe. After Harlan's confession, you notice a discernible change in the bear's demeanor. It ceases its hostility against you, seemingly understanding the situation. Seems like the bear is calming down now. Not sure if it's a threat to anyone else, but I got a feeling we should let it go. In agreement with Harlan, both of you put away your weapons, a gesture the bear seems to acknowledge. If it weren't for your help, I wouldn't have handled that bear smoothly. Here, take 2 bottles of booze. Harlan starts examining the wounds all over his body, then he lets out a resigned sigh. All sorted, time to head back. Think I need me a break these days. At the moment, Harlan gazes at the chirping birds, falling snow, and sunlit mountains in the distance. He then takes a deep breath. Feels like spring's coming. Well, we are getting a lot of traits now. And now we're gonna leave for Patrick's mansion. The living room in Patrick's mansion exudes an air of elegance and nobility. A vintage record player rests on the exquisite wooden surface, invoking the melodies of bygone eras. The couch features intricate carvings and opulent fabrics, a testament to the owner's refined taste. Each piece of furniture reflects a pursuit of excellence and an unwavering dedication to aesthetics. Yet a subtle sense of discord lingers. Perhaps it's the sparse furnishings in this vast room, giving it a strangely desolate ambience. Looks like Patrick hasn't been here in ages. Maybe Patrick moved away when the lady passed away. Well, the lady once mentioned that the gem is kept in the study. Let's head there. Yeah. The couch bears signs of disease for years with a collection of adorning the bookshelf nearby. Adjacent to the record player lies an empty space, once meant for dancing to the music. Now it's only aged. Lonely footprints remain on the floor. Atop the table is a dusty ring accompanied by a scribbled line. Harlan, my undying love. These look like belongings from Patrick and his wife. You notice peculiar patterns on the floor resembling a magic circle. You find yourself encircled by tall walls built not only with the bricks, but with shelves stacked with books of all kinds that span all the way to the dark dome above. Sitting at the bottom of this spire of volumes, you look up and attempt to recognize their titles, from the most elementary textbooks of different languages to the forbidden collections. You are awed, menaced even by the manifestation of this, a purely reservoir of knowledge. The fact that all four statues' gazes are fixed at the table at the center makes reading here a less desirable chore. You can't help but wonder what kind of being could finish all the volumes in this place and what they've become. There should be a secret passage around here, according to the lady. Would you take a step back and wait here? Sandra touches the statues on the shelves in a specific order. Though the logic leads you, the floor opens a maw in a low rumble. I guess the wealthy all have skeletons in their closet, which they need to hide. They do have things that I prefer to keep from public eyes, though truth be told, I don't know what they are. Well, see, let's get moving. You boot the PC and search eagerly. Unfortunately, someone has formatted it before your arrival, rendering your access unfruitful. The secret room seems to be equally large as the study above, with the unusual layout resembles the interior of a wizard's spire. Sitting at the center is a brass celestial dome. Its recreation of the solar system is quite far from that of the people's common knowledge. The floating planets are illuminated by the ruby radiance of the sun, a crimson gem which hovers at the heart of the device. That's the gem we're looking for. No traps or guards, but right here for the taking. It'd be reckless not to be without caution. Indeed, perhaps the lady would give us some insight. Sandra steps aside and, except for her nodding from time to time, remains a silent listener. I have that lamp, I need to maybe ask here. How is Lady Redstone like, Sandra? Lady Redstone, you say? There's a brief pause, followed by Sandra's detailed reminiscence. My first encounter with the lady was at the pastry shop when I was preparing the dough. During her impromptu visit, she showed great interest in my work, and we enjoyed a hearty discussion on bakery. It was a wonderful time, and when she was leaving, she politely asked if I would pay her a visit at her manor. And that's how I became a regular guest here. Whenever I could afford the time, I came here for Lady Redstone, who would teach me to read and cordially and patiently. We went through many volumes of her collection. When I think of this, I think of the fact that Patrick and the lady had no child. Maybe she had taken me as her daughter. Sandra's eyes lose their focus as she continues her recollection. My childhood was anything but desirable, not a mother who I've never even seen. And my father breathed his last, bearing unvindicated indiscrimination. It was thanks to the lady I was able to have a family of my own. And for this, I'd always wished to be her daughter and stay by her side. There was one time when she asked in a formal tone if I wanted to learn the truth of the world, and I refused her. All I wanted was for a peaceful life together with Bruno. She paused, her hands reaching for the brooch at her chest. Lady Redstone didn't even wince at my response, however. She gave me this brooch, saying it would offer me the protection and blessing when the time comes. Sandra's voice becomes hoarse sobs, her hands shaking. And then I was informed of her death just a few days after the conversation. To lose one's family for a second time was something you didn't even want to think about. Come to think of it, the truth she mentioned, it might be the exact crisis we find ourselves in now. How foolish I was to refuse her. Sandra holds her spot at a corner of the room, her occasional nodding the only evidence of her imperceivable conversation. Partner existence. The flame ceased when you retreat to the safe zone. That was so close. Watch out, something's guarding the gym. Patrick was prepared for this. How should we get the gem? This device will turn anyone who dares approach into a pile of ashes. I learned from the lady that she'd never mentioned any additional protection for the gym when she was still living here. It must have been Patrick's idea. So are our hands tied here? Sandra took her golden brooch off of her clothes. This brooch has protected me once, Lady Redstone said to me in her own words. A willis seal can utilize its potential to ward off anything, including flames. For a few seconds you can't see her face, then she lifts her head, eyes shining with resolution. I shall acquire the gem no matter the cost. I trust Lady Redstone's words, and I will do as she said. A cage of fire engulfed Sandra in the blink of an eye. Sandra, watch out! A blinding light bursts out from her hand, dispelling all the shadows and flames with a flood of flares. The lady was telling the truth. Let's return at once to the hall. With this gem in hand, we should be able to activate the circle and save Bruno. Damn it, can I really not use this even though I have the item? Upon returning to the living room, you discover an unexpected visitor awaiting your arrival. Adolf, absent until this moment, reclines on the couch, surrounded by several heavily armed bodyguards. Noticing your return, he rises with a manner as pretentious as his speech. Greetings, my esteemed friends. There's no need for alarm. I simply wish to engage in a discussion regarding some business with you. Adolf greets you with his typical smile. Although he shows no open hostility, the presence of his armed guards brings it. Sorry about that, I did not mean to click there. If I'm not mistaken, you have secured the gem, correct? Allow me to propose an offer. I kindly request that you surrender the gem in your possession. That's not going to happen. Adolf appears completely unfazed by Sandra's resolute rejection. What do you need that gem for? Regrettably, Lady Sandra has interrupted my proposal. Nonetheless, I wish to reiterate that this is a mutually beneficial arrangement. Should you entrust me with the gem, I shall secure the return of Bruno to your midst. Indeed, I am well aware of Bruno's whereabouts and have the means to secure his safe return. Furthermore, I must caution against her placing undue trust in Lady Redstone. I have meticulously monitored her activities for an extended duration, and I am convinced that she poses a threat akin to Patrick. I presume you'll have uncovered Patrick's nefarious scheme. Do one truly place faith in his wife, an accomplice in this malevolent plot? No, every action she has undertaken is a bid to resurrect herself within Sandra's form. You liar! A sage mentor once imparted to me a valuable lesson in the art of negotiation. When met with staunch resistance to one's assertions, it does not necessarily indicate a steadfast belief in one's fallacy. However, it may stem from a sense of shame or anger born of uncertainty regarding the veracity of the claims. Lady Sandra, do you perceive my discourse as baseless? You appear visibly fatigued and dispirited. Could this be attributed to Lady Redstone's influence upon your soul? I admit that my earlier statement may have lacked finesse. I propose a revised arrangement. I am prepared to secure the safe return of Bruno if you in turn are willing to part with the gem. How does this proposal sound? Ray, you can save Bruno? Absolutely, you have my unequivocal assurance. Confronted by Adolf's composer, Sandra appears at a loss, her gaze shifts to you, seeking your answer. Sorry to let you down, Adolf, but I have more faith in the bond between Sandra and Lady Redstone than in you. Upon your answer, Sandra's gaze refocuses with newfound determination. It seems your words have sealed her resolve. Never once has the lady betrayed or doubted my loyalty, and hers is a faith I shall live and die for. You will not have the gem. Well, a shame indeed that we won't be able to communicate any longer. Or sorry, cooperate, but who am I to blame a good fellow for having a little thought of their own? That reminds me. I trust you still recall my piece of reminder back at the tavern that it'd be wise of you to leave while you could. Clearly it hasn't taken very seriously, and it's time you bear the consequence. Alright, these guys shouldn't be so bad either. After some fierce exchange of blows, Adolf's bodyguards are now all lying on the ground. Before you can calm your breath, however, Adolf rises off the ground to his feet, staggering and twitching. Not bad at all. The man who was lying cold now stands in front of you with a faint smile, his voice sound and vigorous. He then applauses as if paying a tribute to the actors of a comedy play, a sarcastic scorn to your valor just now. Having flicked the dust from his suit, he speaks in an unruffled tone. I can see why the sheriff had placed his trust in you. Fascinating. And pray allow me to apologize for my thoughtless comments, which I now intend to withdraw. Let us set aside the disputes and call it a day. So if I may, should you find yourself in need of my service under any circumstances, the door to my humble house on Pomegranate Alley is open to you. And with that, friends, I bid you good night. Adolf is still toying with his cane in one hand as he leaves. His mannerism made me want to hurl. We better keep an eye on the man. I agree. And that's where I am going to end it off for this video. If you made it this far, thank you for watching, and I will see you next time while we continue with more depersonalization. Until then, bye!